Yep, you guys have to learn how to swim, so.
Now this is for me. No, it could save all.
That's right. Learning how to swim is very, very, very important. Friend, remember if you've been watching, okay, you special people out there, if you've been watching, I was telling y'all about my garden. We be in the garden. If you don't like garden stuff, girl, you're going to have to find another channel because there's peace. There's Jesus Christ out in the garden, okay? Genesis, where they started out at? In the garden, okay? I have 3 bell pepper plants that I planted. When did I plant these? Child, months ago, probably like 2 months ago. This one went through a storm, Shaka Khan. Through the wire, through whatever come what may. I'd rather risk it all, right down to the wire. You know what I'm saying? So, girl, friend, sir, because I got some sirs out there who watch me. How you doing? This one, really, I left for dead. I ain't even gonna lie. I left for dead. I drug it out way yonder around the corner somewhere, but my mama kept watering it. And she said, it's gonna grow, Fern Gully. And I said, well, we might not see any fruit from it this season because clearly these are already on track. I'm gonna have to go back in my time capsule and see when exactly I purchased these. I think they have another 30 days to go. They're not ready yet. I really think the ones in the store are like on steroids because these are like a regular size garden variety bell pepper. And here we are. We have a very tiny baby bell pepper right there. You see it? And it's gonna get big. And there's a couple of them. There's one. I feel like we're on an episode of Barney. 2, look at that one. You see that little tiny baby one? You see how that looks shriveled up? When it gets shriveled up and brown like that, that means there's a baby in there, baby. So that was 3. You know, I feel like Rafiki, look harder. You see that green? And there's probably one under here. Might be a little baby, a baby one under there. Let me know if y'all can see it, because I'm filming. Can't see. Okay? Oh, it's heavy. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry if my wig is not laid right today or my makeup is just caked up. I've been putting my medication in my eye. I told you guys that I have been going to the doctor. I have an undiagnosed autoimmune, I don't even have to call it disease, dysfunction, whatever you want to call it. The doctor hasn't narrowed it down yet. It was 3 main ones, and it's dependent on the blood work, okay? Either diagnosis of lupus, some type of arthritic disease that causes inflammation, or sarcoidosis, which was ruled out because, thank God, I had an x-ray of my chest and stuff like that. So that one's ruled out, although depending on the blood work, I don't know. So until I get the proper diagnosis, I can't properly get treated for how to deal with the inflammation except a topical treatment. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. So that's why I'm all shaded up, protecting my eyes from any, sunlight, anything like that. So yeah, girl, but forgive me. With that being said, and that's another reason why I'm living like this stress-free life where I am letting things go. As they say, let go and let God. I'm in a different headspace these days. I really am. And like I said, I'm happy to be here. Happy that you guys are here. But I shared with you guys in the last video, towards the end of the video, that my baby daddy has been being nice to me. It started in December, but he was like mean to me in December at the same time. It was like a light switch. And I had a conversation with him on the phone. He was so mean to me, and I was like, sir, you really gotta humble yourself. You're talking to me with so angry, like for what? Especially if we're talking about things that benefit the kids, or figuring out something that is gonna benefit the kids. You can't come at me like angry and talking to me like I'm nothing. What is the real reason for the animosity at this point. It's been, I don't know how many years since we've been divorced, and this is why it's so important. People say, oh, it doesn't matter if you have a good relationship with the person or not. It does, because how are you going to talk about things that benefit your children if you can't have a conversation because you're so busy having so much hell in you? You know what I mean? And every time that he spoke to me, he just was just so much hell in him. You know what I mean? Like a conversation about the kids. I need to talk to your mother. First of all, the kids don't want to talk to you if you coming at them aggressive like that. And I don't want to talk to you if you're coming at me aggressive like that. Or, oh, well, you know, it's just, child, y'all know what I'm saying if y'all have a baby daddy or a baby mama who's just stuck on angry. So anyway, the switch happened around December. Like I said, before the kids went, he was mean nasty to me, just mean nasty to me. And then he called me on the phone, and I can tell you, I don't know who I was talking to, but it wasn't the mean and nasty person. It was so kind. It was so nice. And I call it an it because I still don't know what it is. And it was asking me something geared toward the children or about the children. The reason why it was so weird was because any time before that, if there was any concern, question, or issue with the kids, it was always, you are a horrible mother. Why don't you do this? It was just always so derogatory, belittling. It was horrible. It's been a horrible experience, you guys. Needless to say, because I don't want to have no form of PTSD and travel down a road that leads me to, you know, cry, sit in this car and cry when I don't got no tears to cry about it. So anyway, yeah, he was calling me about one of the kids, and he was nice about it. Beyond nice. Like when he picked up the phone, it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't like, oh, I don't really want to talk to you, but it was so nice and respectful, like beyond respectful. Like I really had to like check my pulse, make sure I was alive, look outside, make sure the rapture hadn't come. It was a zombie apocalypse outside. Like it was just so odd. And when my kids came back, y'all, my oldest is so funny. All of my kids are extremely hilarious, and we have open conversations. But separately, me and Julian, we were talking about something, and he segued into, yeah, and you know what was really strange? How nice Daddy was when he called you. I thought that when he called you on the phone, he was going to be mean to you and yell at you. He didn't use the word afraid, but he said, I was worried. I was worried because I didn't want you guys to argue, and I don't want to be the reason why you guys argued. You guys, that literally broke my heart, right? Because nobody wins when the family feuds. And I gotta say this, preacher moment, okay? I'm on my soapbox. You parents out there, whether it be the fathers or the mothers, okay? I don't pick sides, when it comes to parenting or co-parenting. Let that shit go. Like, you're not hurting anyone by being mean and nasty to the other parent. You're not really hurting them. They're an adult. You're hurting the child. Because the child is going to harbor these core feelings of, well, if I wasn't around, they wouldn't have these issues, or it's my fault why they can't get along. Kids take things and they internalize it, and they'll make anything their fault. If it's raining outside, kids will make it their fault. So I asked my son in that moment, how does that make you feel with your father being nice and us being able to have a conversation? He said, it makes me happy. He said, it made me really, really happy. He said, I was worried, Mommy. I was really, really worried. And I'm just happy. And he said, I hope that it continues. I hope that it's just not a one-off thing, And I mean, I hope so too. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, like, I'm hopeful for my kids, but at the same time, you guys, I'm not gonna cry. I can't endure I cannot endure any more abuse from anyone. Y'all not gonna have me Y'all not gonna have me in here crying. I can't cry. I can't afford to cry, y'all. My eyes cannot. I can't do it. But which is what is making me a little apprehensive on how much trust I give out, how much of a conversation I can lend, how much of an ear I can have to a person who, in their own way, abused me for so many years, you know, emotionally, just going through it with this person. Y'all, when I tell you it's a no nonsense zone for me. Like, either you're for me or you're not. And if you're not, I don't have time for you. So I'm taking it inch by inch. That's one of the reasons why I just don't trust him as a person, just because everything that I went through, like the trauma from the twins' birth and the infidelity then, and just having to pick up and, you know, be the head of my household for my 4 children. Just, you know, it's just like, I think when I sit and think about those things, it doesn't help me. And I cannot say that I'm looking for an apology, will be waiting for an apology, because I'm okay. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio. Like, I can definitely move on, and the word forgive is too vague for me. I can move on, but I can also deal with you like with a long handle spoon. So that's how I'm going about this situation, because it's just so much has been done, and there has yet to be any form of an apology, like, whatsoever. And I know that I deserve an apology, and the apology is based on the derogatory and defamatory things that have been said about me, that our kids can Google and see, their friends can Google and see, you know. And we did go to court, and he was told to take certain things down, like when he said that I was a hoe, or, you know, suggested that I was a prostitute and that my coochie stank. Like, y'all, like, just crazy things, right? Crazy things that were said that were not true, and to insinuate that I was this bad, awful mom. I didn't feel the need to come back and say that he's a bad, awful dad. I never felt the need to say any of those things. But I'll never understand how somebody, and I never talked about his eggplant. I never talked about our sex life or anything like that. I just think that's super low to talk about anything related to sex or people's body parts, because I never, y'all can go back and try and search, I've never said that, because I have 4 kids with this person. How you have 4 kids with a person who coochie stank? That mean you like stank coochie. Like, make that make sense. You see what I'm saying? So y'all, the things that I had to deal with, and I just had to shrug off my shoulders and keep trucking, because at the end of the day, I'm the main custodial parent for my kids, who they see every day. I'm in their life. I can't be out here acting stupid and foolish. So, yeah. When it comes to an apology, that's the only kind of apology I want. Apologize for telling the world that my coochie stank and that I was a prostitute. Apologize for those things. On a personal level, when it comes to the infidelity, you know, stuff happens. But yeah, the verbal abuse, y'all, I just can't do it. And I can't, like, open myself up and allow a person to even have one single moment to say something to me, because I feel like I've been through enough. So I'm definitely in self-protect mode for sure. And what else is crazy to me is I've been vlogging for almost 10 years. The twins will be 10 in January. And throughout that whole time of me vlogging, for the ones who've been with me from the beginning, I was always a good mother. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I was a military wife. He wasn't really around. No, I was taking care of the home. So while he was away, being in the military and doing whatever extracurricular activities that he was doing outside of his family, okay? You feel me? But I was at home, and that shows. So it's weird to me that anybody would ever think the opposite of that. Anyway, child, life is strange. Life has so many different full circle moments, you know what I mean? I gotta go into this store because I've been sitting in this car talking to y'all. I know I said I was gonna take a minute, but baby, we took longer than a minute, and I appreciate y'all for sitting here and being mature about it. And again, I don't have anything bad to say about him, anything derogatory to say about him. I just have always wanted him to be a better version of himself, for his children, and for anybody who thinks that you don't have to have a good solid relationship with a person you created children with is living in a fantasy world. Like, oh, you don't have to talk to him, you don't have to be nice to them, you don't have to, you know, be a united front. You do, because kids remember things. Like, you know, like when you go on the internet and people say, oh, why are the baby daddy and the baby mama together at a birthday party? They have kids together. You have kids together. I think it's sad that over all these years that he hasn't been to one of the kids' birthday parties. Do you know what I'm saying? You haven't been there collectively at a graduation or whatever. You know, that's things like that are more important, and you don't get to be in those spaces with each other if you can't stand the side of the person you don't want to be around them. That's crazy. Y'all parents, get y'all stuff together and be there for y'all kids and have a good relationship with the other parent for the children. Ain't nobody tell you to sleep with them. Just be nice to each other. And for the people in the back, I know people are going to say, well, why? It's not like you would have invited me anyway, whatever. It's funny because me and him had a conversation. I'm not going to say too much about our conversation or whatever. And this is why I'm not choosing to, like, go in and be disrespectful towards him, because I'm just let God do whatever God going to do with him and our relationship as parents. But he said, in just a little glimmer into one of our conversations, he said, well, you didn't tell me these things. If you would have just asked me these things, or I don't understand why you didn't tell me these things. You had it out for me. Anything that I ever told you or needed, if I needed $100, it was, I'm going to go run and tell the internet she needs $100. I'm going to go run and tell the internet that my baby mama is lacking this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't trust him for anything. It was not a safe space to say anything to him, because whatever I said, if I was lacking something, if I needed something, it was always used against me, whether it was to go run off and tell the internet or to bring it up in court. It was always used against me instead of saying, how can we help each other? Oh, you need this for the kids? You need this for the kids? Instead of, she don't even have this for the kids. You know what? It was wild, you know? So it wasn't a safe place to have him in the same vicinity as me. You know, I really had to protect myself and protect my children for the sake of their stability and just mental health. It was wild. It was wild. However, up until recently, like I said, there's been a light switch. Something has changed where I've been able to, I wouldn't say, I don't think I will ever ask him for anything when it comes to the kids, because again, that type of emotional abuse that you go through as a mother, when you really need something for your kids. You really need something for your kids, and the person that you had the kids with tells you no and they have the ability to do it, it's heartbreaking. I'll never give any man the opportunity to withhold something from me that they're able to give, but they don't want to do it based on I don't know what. But that's why I'm very independent financially. Just never again. I'm not out here trying to bash anybody. I'm just saying from my perspective that it's been tough as a parent who went through a divorce and then a custody battle, relocating, starting over, not with 1, 2, 3, but 4 children under an age. I think Julian was 6 and under, you know, just I had babies. And to be going through so much at that time, I think so much has happened. The wounds are so deep that I will always be guarded in a particular way that allows me to be self-sufficient and mentally healthy for my children. That part. But yeah.